talking about fraction word problems. So fraction word problems can be very tricky. When you're taking apart a problem, you have to think about what the problem means. Well, when it comes to fractions, there's many different ways that you can create fraction word problems. So we're going to practice breaking down the problem today so that you have a strategy that you can use when you're doing your work. So our problem today is on Monday, Mr. Smith bought a gallon of milk for his family. On Wednesday, there was only 1/4 of a gallon left. His son drank 2/3 of that milk for breakfast. How much of the whole gallon did his son drink? So our problem presents two fractions within the problem. But we need to figure out what those two fractions mean and how they're important. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to think about what kind of picture I can draw. The best strategy for solving word problems, especially with fractions, is to draw a picture. You can normally draw a picture with almost any fraction word problem. So the first thing I'm going to draw is my gallon of milk. My whole is the gallon of milk. Remember, when we work with fractions, there's always an amount that represents the whole. In this case, it's the milk. So it's the gallon of milk that was bought at the store. Now, on Wednesday, there was only 1/4 of the gallon left. So I divided my carton of milk into 4 pieces to represent the 4 in the denominator. And then I colored in one of those fourths in blue to represent the amount of milk that was left. Now, when his son came in for breakfast that morning, his son drank 2/3 of that milk. He didn't drink 2/3 of the whole gallon. There wasn't 2/3 left. He drank 2/3 of the 1/4. So when I looked at the 1/4, I divided my 1/4 into 3 parts because 2/3, the denominator is 3. And then I circled 2 of those thirds because our numerator in 2/3 was 2. So he drank that much milk, this colored in circled section. But they want to know how much of the whole gallon that his son drank. Well, it wouldn't be 2/3. So we need to look at this problem in a different way. Since I divided the 1/4 into 3 parts, I need to divide all of the fourths into 3 parts. So when I do that, it gives me a total of 12 pieces in the gallon of milk. So now that I have 12 total pieces and each of those pieces are considered equal, I can come up with my fractional part. So my numerator is going to be the 2 parts of the 1/4. And my denominator is going to be the 12 total pieces. So, he drank 2/12 of the whole gallon. So we figured out our answer, but one of the most important things when it comes to word problems is figuring out our equation and how we came up with that answer so we can check our mathematics. If we think about this problem, the best way to think about it is 2/3 of 1/4. Now, that's not an equation, but we did learn that the of actually represents multiplication. So technically, this is a multiplication problem, and our equation would be 2/3 times 1/4. Now, whenever you are solving multiplication problems with fractions, remember, you take the 2 numerators, 2 and 1, multiply them together. And then you take the 2 denominators, 3 and 4, and you multiply them together. And then that gives you an answer of 2/12. So his son drank 2/12 of the whole gallon of milk. Now, make sure when you're doing your word problems that you draw a picture and you come up with your equation.